Right. So this is walking along Hudys Way out round the country lanes. Hudys Way is named after a local that allegedly took off and flew. So it's dead quiet. This is just up around some farmland, and you can hear loads of birds and wildlife. I found the Hudys Way hike on the Walk NI website. The Walk NI website gives lots of general information about the hike, including a map of the hike on top of an Ordnance Survey map. I would highly recommend downloading the map of Hudys Way and taking it with you, because there's lots of twists and turns in this hike. The recommended parking and start point is at Moneyneeney Village Community Centre, and there's information signs in the car park. You can enter the loop from any spot, and the hike can be done in either direction, so I chose to go clockwise, walking down the Moydamlet Road towards the village. I walked through the village over Douglas Bridge, then turned onto the Drumderg Road. The Drumderg Road shows what it's like walking Hudys Way. Small narrow roads with nice views round every corner, and there's almost no traffic. I walked up Drumderg Road until a signpost diverted me across some farmland, and this is where I made my first big mistake. This is the first of many styles on Hudys Way. I went down this farm track checking my Walk NI map as I went, and I thought that the farm track matched the route of the walk on the map, except it didn't. I'll pause the video here and see if you can see where you're actually supposed to walk. So you're supposed to proceed over this first styler gate and then go to the stile in the far fence. I couldn't see the stile in the far fence clearly and took a 30-minute detour to the wrong place. The track just sort of suddenly stops, and they seem to be going over somebody's field and following the map, but it doesn't really seem to feel correct. But we'll see how we go till we get down to the bottom of the valley. So I noticed there was no through path and had to try to work out where I had went wrong, but first I had to go back the way I'd come. It's slightly badly signposted, to be honest. So I made a wrong turn and now I'm heading back down to where I think I should be going. But it's very easy because there's this track to walk on, and it's not signposted that you don't go on the track, so I'm doing more videoing than I am navigating. So I still hadn't spotted the stile where I was supposed to go, and the map lacked detail, so I walked round the old derelict building down to the fence line and realised that I was still wrong. There was no way across the stream. And 20 feet after coming down the stile up here, the path's blocked by a fallen tree. This is the Dunlugan River, so you come down here and it's actually more of a brook than a river, to be honest. The path is supposed to come up here and across this bridge, but this tree has fallen, suspect, during its Storm Owen, and that's probably put the tree down, and it's certainly closed the path off, so it's a bit of a scramble through some of the ferns and bracken. After crossing the Drumderg River, I get this lovely view here, minus the rain. So finally got out of the field, crossed the river out of the field. Some really suspect navigation and markers and stuff there, but then you come out onto this wee road. Well, it's a road, it's more like a lane. There's nobody else about except a ton of sheep. A few more yards up the road and you'll find this sign turning right into a private farmyard. I didn't film in the farmyard, but I did meet the farmer. You go round the rear of the farmhouse and you get more great views of the Sperrin hills. This is all down through private farmland. It's absolutely gorgeous though. So once you've crossed some of that boggy farmland on Hudys Way, you come out onto this little lane and you start to head down the lane. It's nice to have a piece of dry ground for a change. A few yards further you'll see this stile. Climb over it, walk across a few short fields and follow the stiles until you can get onto the next public road. Stile after stile after stile. So many stiles. After coming through the farmlands you come out onto this road and it's the busiest road yet. It's widest road yet, but I've seen a few cars. Proceed then in through this car park inside Moydamlet Forest. It says the path's closed, so you'll have to see what the crack is with that. Moydamlet Forest had recently had tree harvesting operations completed and that had left the forest absolutely trashed. It was safe enough to walk through, but it was in a bit of a state and really, really ugly. Piece of boardwalk after exiting Moydamlet Forest and it was in very bad condition, so I had to sort of navigate around it because it's not been maintained in a long time, but that's because Ireland is not the country for wooden boardwalks. After Moy Damlet Forest and the small Lonan, you walk through the middle of another private farmyard. It's unusual to go through the middle of a few private properties like that. Hudys Way is a permissive path. There's no automatic right of way onto private land, and we depend on the landowner's permission for access. When you're coming near to the end of the walk, you start to have more nice views of Slieve Gallion, Crockbrack, and Crockmore. From here, I walk back up the main road to the car at the community centre to head for home. How would I summarise Huddy's Way? Huddy's Way is in the centre of the Sperrin's area of natural beauty. It's an easy walk, even with a tree blocking the small bridge that's passable with care. Huddy's Way changes direction constantly, and that means the scenery is always varied and interesting, and you can take a map with you anyway. It's also not too wet or muddy compared to other hikes in the Sperrins or the Glens of Antrim. Lastly, there's virtually no traffic on the smaller roads, so I'd highly recommend going. It's very worthwhile.